Memento Mori, remember that you must die. This is the central theme of Persona 3 Reload, or rather that your time is limited. Every character you interact with in the game changes over time, but besides Tanaka, of course, he stays evil, a bastard throughout the whole entire thing. But what's so compelling to me about this game is that it keeps its themes so relevant throughout the entire thing. It doesn't hammer it into your head over and over again, but every once in a while, after a few hours of gameplay, you notice something and you're like, huh, that ties back to that other thing. And then so on and so forth. The Dark Hour, Tartarus, and just the whole death thing in general. These things, like I said, all circle back into each other in such a brilliant way that I think Atlas did beautifully. Firstly, let's talk about the gameplay. Now, quite honestly, it's not that special. I really love this game, but it's just pretty much the run-of-the-mill, turn-based RPG, which I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but like, there's not a whole lot you can do to reinvent the wheel, There's cool animations in the theurgies. They're cool, right? But all the moves and shit you learn, it's pretty much just the run-of-the-mill level up turn-based RPG that you've experienced the gameplay of about 500 times before. But nobody plays Persona for the fucking turn-based RPG stuff. We, as a collective, all play it for the built-in dating sim. The social links are probably my favorite part of the game. Not simply because you can date the characters and specifically Chihiro, but it's simply because interacting with all these different kinds of people and seeing how just simply interacting with these people and hanging out with them about 10 different times, depending on if you say the right dialogue option, can just literally impact their lives and cause like a character shift for them, which I think is a brilliant thing to do. And I mean, some of these social links are just stellar because the people can take such a drastic turn in their life just by you simply, like I said, hanging out. Specifically, what comes to mind is Akinari's social link, because it is one of the most, I've seen in the Persona community, people say that this is the best one, and I really do agree with them, because seeing how this young man, by the way, spoiler alerts for this social link, but seeing how this young dying man completely does a 180 from being nihilistic to having something he wants to live for, even as his life is dwindling, simply because you sat there next to him in a park and talked to him, is just brilliant. And it, like I said, this is another game element that ties back into the central theme of the game, which is just, oh my, chef's kiss, beautiful. You did a great job at writing this, Atlas. Whoever wrote this social link needs to get their butt ate post-haste. What I find interesting about the 2 Persona games that I've played so far is that they have the 2 best soundtracks I've ever heard in a video game, like ones that you would put on a music playlist, that I have put on a playlist, alongside the likes of like Kanye and G-Eazy. While Persona 5's is more, jazz-oriented and sneaky and chill like that, because you're a thief, you sneak around the palaces and whatnot. Persona 3 is a lot more upbeat and jumpy, at least for like the first half of the game. Because, I mean, at this point, you're not a phantom thief, right? You just be killing shadows at night, bro. You don't do a whole lot. You're just a chill high school student. That first semester soundtrack, holy freaking moly. Every time class ends for the day, and you have free time to dick around, that music is electric. Even more so at night, I love Color Your Night. That is my favorite song in this entire soundtrack. It's beautiful, I love it. And also, kind of a spoiler alert, but when that certain event happens at the end of the year, and then when you enter January, then in the new year, the way the music just completely deflates and warps into something far more like sad and depressing, and along with the color slowly draining from the atmosphere every single day, I mean, just the storytelling that they do with this music is just absolutely beautiful and awesome sauce. Now, the last big thing I want to talk about is the story, but I'm being so genuine when I say that this game has had the most impact on me out of any game I've played since Red Dead Redemption 2. Which, mind you, influenced my formative years and kind of just changed who I was fundamentally. I've talked about how much I love Red Dead Redemption 2 before, I don't think I need to restate it. But Persona 3 Reload solidifies its spot as number 2 game, of all time. To be fair, the story is long. It took me about 60 hours to finish this game, but I promise you it is so worth it for anybody who's on the fence. The relationship you develop throughout the story with all your team members, especially when you're all going through it, when shit goes down at least 5 different times. The core messages of this game are so fundamentally thought-provoking, it'll have you pondering your orb for hours after completing the game. You actually start feeling close with these characters, which I mean, I know it's not that big of a praise in theory, but with video games these days, good characters that you can actually care about are kind of far and few between. You can see how these characters change and develop into functioning adults with a clear purpose in life by the end of the game, something that the main character unfortunately never truly finds until the very, very end. And that's what resonates so much with me about this game. Finding your purpose. That is hard to do. That is a very open question in the scheme of everything, It takes some people their whole lives, and some people may never find it. For those like me who still don't have a clue what you're really put on this earth for, and you question it frequently, play this game to the end. If you find yourself simply not wanting to go forward in life, just wanting to stay in the same place, not wanting to get out of bed, like you feel hollow inside, play this game. I think you'll come to the same conclusion as Makoto did at the very end. If not for yourself, then live for the ones you love.